Hey everyone, welcome back. And today I want to show you how I develop my black and white film. Specifically, how I recently developed a roll of Fomapan 200 using a fairly new and much more environmentally friendly film developer from Flic film out of Canada. It's a thick syrup-like ascorbic acid-based film developer, which, according to Flic film, is also supposed to have a longer shelf life. It's called Black, White, and Green, and it's a highly concentrated liquid film developer with a recommended dilution of 1:49. Also, being a vitamin C based film developer, and from what I've read to this point and from some of the results I've gotten, it seems to be very similar, especially grain wise and tonality, very similar to Xtol. So I shot my roll of Fomapan 200 at box speed and then developed it at the recommended dilution of 1:49 for 10 minutes at 68 degrees. So that being said, let me now walk you through how I developed my roll of Fomapan film, and let me show you some of the results. I developed my film right at my kitchen sink. And as you can see that besides a developing tank, a pair of scissors, and a changing bag, which allows me to load the film into my developing tank in total darkness, I only require just a few additional items, keeping this process as simple as possible. Chemical-wise, I'm using 3 chemicals, a film developer, and in this case, I'm giving Flic Film's Black, White, and Green film developer a try for the first time. Along with that, I'll also be using Clayton's odorless rapid fixer and a few drops of photo flow, which I will use after the final rinse step is complete. Other items include a 1 liter and a 45 milliliter graduate, a simple inexpensive glass darkroom thermometer, a stirring paddle, a filter funnel, and a gallon jug each of both tap and distilled water. I am using a single 35mm reel developing tank by AP to develop my roll of Fomapan 200. I own both Patterson and AP tanks, and I like them both, whether I agitate by inversion or simply use the agitation rod that comes with each tank. What I do prefer about AP, though, is their adjustable film reel. The AP reel has an oversized film loading guide, which makes loading the film onto the reel a much easier task than most other plastic reels. Black, White, and Green film developer. This has a dilution of 1:49, and my tank holds around 12 ounces to do 1 roll of film. So I'm going to do a dilution of 1/4 ounce to 12 ounces, which will give me about 12 1/4 ounces, which is more than enough to fill the tank and cover the reel. I already have the film in the tank, so what I'm going to do, I always like to pre-wash. Not everybody likes to pre-wash. I checked my temperature with my fancy thermometer, and it's 68 degrees. I'm going to fill the tank with some water. I don't mind using the same graduate that I'm eventually going to put my developer in, because I rinse it out real good, so it's just plain water in there now. And then I'm just going to use the little agitation rod that goes down into the tank. I'll come back here. I tap the tank to get the air bells out, and I'll agitate it, and I'll let that sit for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to get my solution ready for my film developing. So I'm going to measure out now. I'm going to pour some developer in until I get to 1/4 ounce. And again, as you can see, this developer is very thick. I have 12 ounces of 68 degree water measured out in my graduate. And what I want to do is I'm going to pour this into, the graduate. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of water from the 12 ounces of what will be my working solution. So I'm going to stir that up real good. Mix that with water. Get that all mixed up real good, as you can see. All right, and I'm going to pour that into my full 12 ounces. It's actually going to be a little more than 12 ounces now. It's about 12 1/4 ounces. Okay, I'm now ready to pour out my pre-rinse water. And once that's done, I'm now ready to pour in my working solution of developer. All right, and then what I'm going to do is for the first 10 seconds, I'm going to agitate for 10 seconds initially. And then I'm going to tap the bottom of the tank, knock on the side to get all the air bubbles out. My timer is set for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to agitate 10 seconds every minute until 10 minutes has expired. Okay, so I'm now going to pour out the developer. And again, I'm using some room temperature tap water. I'm going to give it about 30 seconds. All right, so once that's done, take the stirring stick out, or the stirring rod. I'll pour the water out. So that stopped the action of the development. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fixer, which again I have already pre-mixed in a half-gallon jug. So again, I'll add my fixer. Get my stirring rod, and then this fixer is a rapid fix. And then once I do that, I'm just going to rinse it with tap water. Now I'm going to pour my fixer back into the jug. And again, I'm still using the filter funnel. And I normally, again, about 10 minutes I let the film rinse for. I have some distilled water that I'm going to use when I get to the final stage, when I want to add my photo flow. Okay, I removed the lid. And again, it's been rinsing for about 10 minutes. I'll pour some distilled water in. And then I use an eyedropper. And then I'll get, let's see. Once that photo flow gets nice and evenly distributed by agitating, and sometimes I'll even take the reel and slosh it up and down inside. Now we're ready. Once that timer is up, then we're ready to take the film off the reel, take a look at it, and hang it up to dry. So we're going to pour that out, and then we can simply start taking the film off the reel, and what do you know? There's images on the film.